For anybody that's looking for a reground camshaft or a camshaft or performance camshaft or anything like that, stop. Which of these three camshafts is a reground? Can you tell the difference?
You'll see the sparks grinding off the base circle area.
Welcome back to the channel. First things first, I want to make something very clear. I am not sponsored by this product that I'm about to talk about, nor will I take any money from them. And also, I actually paid for this because I wanted to have an unbiased view. I want to be able to say whatever I wanted to. After that disclaimer, let's get into it.
You see the area being ground off on the base circle. Moving the center line of the cam up allows us to create more lift and duration. You see the rough cut lobe is on the left and the finished cut lobe is on the right. After we check it for straight, we're going to verify the base circle run out. OEM allows us 3/1000ths. I like to keep the base circle run out less than 2. Check the centers again. The center has less than 1/1000ths. That center is less than 0.5/1000ths. Once we verify that all the centers are straight, we go back and check each one of the lobes. That's what really sets our quality control apart from other big name companies. They'll spot check camshafts and spot check whole batches. With a smaller company like myself, it comes directly out of my pocket, not some sort of corporate slush fund. So that's why I make sure that every one of my camshafts is done properly and correctly, knowing that everything that I sent out of here is top-notch quality. Check the base circle run out. OEM allows 3/1000ths base circle run out. I like to keep it less than 2.
Welcome back to the channel. From my previous videos, you see that I was talking about this Wilhoit reground camshaft, and everybody laughed and scoffed and saying, oh, it's a piece of junk, it's not worth it, or anything like along those lines. Well, I proved everybody wrong. It worked, it sounded great, it made a ton of power. And they say it wouldn't work, it was going to fall apart, the lobe's going to come off, and blah 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 and all stuff. Well, proved you guys wrong. And the only reason why I'm not reusing this camshaft is because of user error. My problem, I did it. Nothing to do with the camshaft. This thing took a beating with no oil, the wrong valve springs, super high RPMs on a stock short block motor. Blew up, oil problems, you know. Camshaft is not bad at all, still can be used, but you can see some battle wounds on here. And yeah, so in my intimate research and trying not to spend a lot of money on this particular LT1 build, I came across another manufacturer that does reground camshafts. It's called Delta Cams. Delta Cams. Jon from Delta Cams took all of my dumb questions, spent the time with me. He got me out. He's got thousands of GM steel cores, Fords, you name it, LS cores that he does performance rebuilds. And when I talked to him and I says, oh, well, everybody tells me regrounds are junk, he sat there and laughed on the phone for about like 4 or 5 minutes because he thought that was ridiculous because of the misconceptions of reground camshafts, especially these steel billet cores from GM and the other manufacturers, which are already hardened all the way through. These are not cast cores. That's a whole nother topic and subject for later, but I wanted to explain a little bit about the whole process and also the pros and cons. There's always pros and cons to everything, but basically he took a camshaft like this. This is a factory, typical small block Chevy roller cam, right? And turned it into this beautiful specimen of a performance camshaft. And for the LT1 guys that are listening to this right now, I will get into the specifications of this cam and where you can buy it and all that kind of stuff later on. And also there'll be links down in the description of the cam company and who I spoke to and all that kind of good stuff. So, but hang on and wait for the next video for this particular specifications for this. But this is really just a general all-purpose video for camshaft people and people looking for camshafts. Now let's face it, 99.99% of us are not racers. We just want a little bit of better performance. We want something that's gonna hop up the performance of our cars. But also, if we're doing a factory rebuild or we're restoring an old car that has a unique engine in it, cam regrinders like this are perfect because you can take in the factory camshaft, send it back to Jon from Delta Cams. He can work his magic and regrind the camshaft, fixing it, straightening it. I mean, he even said that he could even straighten out steel cores like this, or if there's some damage, you know, within reason, he can refurbish a lot of these camshafts. So for all you LS1 guys and Ford guys and all that kind of stuff, and you have these performance camshafts that you don't want to resend back because something happened to it, 9 times out of 10, Jon from Delta Cams can fix the problem. And for your older stuff and your oddball engines, he is also the man. He has the whole technique of welding, straightening, grinding, all the templates for the different, you know, lobes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just crazy what he, you know, what we were talking about and what his capabilities are. And what I noticed too is that he has thousands of cores of camshafts just to pull right from the shelf, reground to specifications, or for whatever he can do within the reason of, you know, the of this particular camshafts, send them out to you. Or you can send your cam in and get your cam back. Now, it still has the factory markings on there and everything, which is crazy to me. Now, the pros price. I mean, just for your typical small block Chevy, I think the average price in 2023 is about $400 and something for a camshaft. I believe, don't quote me on it, but I believe these are about half the price. Half the freaking price to do a performance camshaft. If you send in your cam core, it's even cheaper. But if you don't want to wait, he has plenty of cam cores to work with to send you out. Vice versa. I don't know. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But at half the price, you can literally buy 2 cams for the price of 1. Literally. 2 cams. But what's also the keynote is that there's millions of these camshafts floating in junkyards everywhere. Every engine in God's fate earth, the small block Chevys, Fords, LS Motors, they're sitting out there. You can buy a cam core for cheap, $50 or whatever it is. Or if Jon doesn't have the core, you can buy a core, bring it back. Or if he has the core, he can make you a camshaft right away. Okay. Now, with anything, there's also cons, because there is limitations of what you can reground a cam that's already been ground to a specific, you know, specific setting, basically. And basically, Jon takes into real consideration when designing profiles or copying profiles or whatever like that, is to make sure that the base circle is intact for lifter geometry, make sure that the ramp of the lobe is not going to damage as far as what he can take off on here. And those are specifics that you need to get and call them and see what is, you know, what you can and can't do on a lot of this stuff here. And again, I'm not a cam expert, so I don't know how all the technical terminology about this and everything like that, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit information on this. But yeah, look, for the LT1 guys that are following this channel, I'll give you another video just to specifications of the camshaft and all that kind of stuff. But for the rest of the world out there that are looking for camshafts, contact Jon from Delta Cam, blow up his phone, send him out messages, see what you can do, and just look at the price difference and the quality from this company that are producing stuff like this forever. Just it's like a secret almost that I'm trying to reveal to everybody. Say, hey, you might want to look into this before you go buy a new camshaft. That's all I got to say. All right, I think I said enough. Yeah. Once again, Jon, thank you from Delta Camshaft. Have a nice day.
This is the junk camshaft. What we're doing is we're aligning the tooling to the camshaft at the OEM highest lift point. That way we'll maintain the maximum amount of base force and get the timing